So you're meeting my twin, because if you saw my last Facebook Live, we did a hair walk, and today here I am with my twin. I know that you didn't know that, but I have a twin, and she's from Neptune, and she's the one who's going to do this today. I'm kidding. So let's do smoothies. If you have heard me talk, if you have been a patient of mine, you know that I love my smoothies. I've done many lives with my smoothie in my hand, so obviously that's something that I do for health. And I wanted to show to you today as to why I do the smoothies, what I add in my smoothies, and what makes a smoothie a good addition to your diet so that you can actually get the benefits of these amazing nutrient dense foods. So that's what we're going to do. And here I have so I'm going to show you everything that I use to make my smoothie so that it can truly be a smoothie and not a chunky. And this is important because a lot of people actually try to make smoothies and hate smoothies because it actually becomes a chunky rather than a smoothie. And the reason why that happens is because, one, you don't really have a good high-speed blender, and this is imperative if you want to have a good smoothie. So what I have is a blend tech. So I have a blend tech. A Vitamix would do too. A blend tech or a Vitamix, something like a high-speed blender is what you want. I know that some people actually have NutriBullet. NutriBullet does okay as well. There is one more, Ninja. That also does okay, but not as well. I have had a NutriBullet in the past. One of the things that I didn't like about that was that it was actually single serve. So if you're making it for a family, it makes it more difficult. You have to make it so many times, which makes it a pain, really. So it makes it difficult for people to actually do that. And I also say that whenever you make a smoothie, don't really make it for yourself, make it for your entire family, unless you don't really want your family to get healthy. So I know that we're going into the fall and into the winter, and a lot of people have these questions as to, should I drink a smoothie in the winter? Is that actually a good thing? So the answer is, it depends. It really depends on you. If you are someone who actually feels cold easily, if you are someone who doesn't really like cooler things in the winter, then you should not really be doing a smoothie. But my smoothies are really not cold, but still raw foods can be cooling for the body. So then it's not. But I still drink my smoothie even in the winters because I really like them. So it's really up to you, but you're also welcome to do soups instead of smoothies if you don't want to do it in this season, and that's okay too. So but today it's going to be a smoothie that I'm going to be making. So if you are someone who feels warm easily or hot, even if you have hot flashes, if you are in menopause, smoothie is still your friend even in the winter months because it will really help cool your body down. So it's not necessarily a one size fits all. You really need to think about whether this is something that is a problem for you or this is not before you make a decision. Okay, so here it is, my blend tech blender. That's what I'm going to be using to make this smoothie. I'm going to put all of the ingredients in the my jar before I actually put it in and grind it, because it's going to really take away from this. Or I think you can see it now better if I do it this way. Okay, so I'm going to just do that. So one of the things that I often talk about is how much greens you actually put in your smoothie, in your blender. And this is very important because we are not really having smoothies for adding fruits, because fruits are very easy to consume. Obviously, most people enjoy fruits, even children enjoy fruit. I don't think anybody has a problem with eating fruits, but people mostly have problems with eating enough greens and vegetables and things like that. So a smoothie is actually a way to get more greens in, get more folate in, because the reason why we add greens in the smoothie is because it has high folate content. And folate is something this is actually more of the natural version of the folate and not folic acid. And folate is very essential to prevent heart disease. It's also essential for many different functions of the body, but specifically heart disease in adults. For pregnant women, it actually helps in children not having issues with methylation later. So there's so many benefits to it. And on top of it, greens also have other benefits, like they have magnesium in them, They have calcium in them. Just like how cows eat grass, we should be eating greens. And that's our calcium source rather than actually, and that's how cows get calcium, and that's how the milk has calcium. So calcium is not something that is suddenly just appearing in a cow. It actually appears because it is eating grass, and grass has calcium, and the cow actually absorbs it from that, and then the milk has calcium. So instead of that, we can go to the source, because we all know that already that milk is a big problem in many ways. Most people have issues with dairy and digesting dairy and absorbing dairy, and it causes all kinds of different problems. So instead, we can actually get our calcium source by doing smoothies with greens. So here I have, this one is actually from Sprouts. Usually I get them from Costco, the super greens. That's the one that, I'm sorry, Power Greens is the one that I get. This one is called the super greens. It literally is the same thing. This one has baby chard, baby spinach, baby kale, and that's the same one that you get from Costco as well, the big bag. So this is what I have right now. So I'm gonna actually take a few handfuls. So I'm making smoothie for 2 people. So I'm gonna be making 2 big cups. And so which means that I'm gonna be actually putting, as you can see, I'm putting quite a bit just for 2 people. And this is how I want you to make your smoothie as well. So I'm putting, so 75% of my blender jar is with greens now, and it's only for 2 people. So this is very, very important because greens have so many nutrients, and we should be eating greens every day. And when we do this, it actually gives us all kinds of different benefits like iron, calcium, silica, sulfur. There's so many things that you can actually get from that, and it's very good in detoxification. It's a good heavy metal chelator. We are exposed to heavy metals on a regular basis. You know, we breathe the air, we drink the water, we eat foods that have pesticides, and so on and so forth. So they're all going to have certain effects on our body. And this smoothie can be something that can help detoxify our body at the same time as it gives nutrients. Thank you, Jisha. I appreciate that. So that's our greens, and then I always add a banana. Okay, this is a really sorry looking banana, but it actually does really well in the smoothie. So when it's darker, when it's blacker, it's going to be sweeter, right? So this actually is going to give so much more sweetness to the smoothie. So even if you're making it for children, this will be beneficial. So always add a banana. Why? Because banana has what we call as a soluble fiber. And soluble fiber is very essential when we make a smoothie because greens have insoluble fiber. Greens do not. When you just blend greens, for example, by itself, it will look chunky. And the reason why it looks chunky is because of the insoluble fiber. So the cellulose or the cell wall of it doesn't break down entirely, and it has this fiber, and it actually makes the smoothie look more chunky. But when we add a banana, what it does is it actually makes the smoothie truly smooth. Because of the soluble fiber and the insoluble fiber mixing together, it actually brings it all together to be able to drink it. Otherwise, it kind of makes it, separated. Thank you, Priya. I appreciate that. You guys are very sweet. So, and then once I actually add a banana, so if you're making smoothies for your children, this is your friend, cherries. Okay, cherries make things look better as well. So even though we want to give them a green smoothie, we also want it to look different. We don't want it to look green, right? Because most of the kids don't really like green smoothies. Anything they look and see as green, they're gonna be like, yuck, why is it green in color? There's something really wrong with it. And obviously you can always make it into a Shrek smoothie if they like Shrek, or you can actually make it into a Hulk smoothie. Okay, I mean, back when I was growing up, it used to be Popeye, right? And of course, now if you say Popeye, people will look at like, you have grown 3 heads. So you can say that to your children. You'll just look like, you're a dinosaur, which I have had the experience of doing. So don't do that. But you can actually say those kinds of things. And I think Hulk is old too. We just need to create a new, maybe Pixar has to come up with a new character, which is green in color, so that we can even sell a green smoothie well. But oh well, until then, we'll actually do cherries. Cherries actually change the color of the smoothie, and that is a great benefit because if it actually becomes pink, children are going to drink it. It's a lot easier to make them drink something that looks pink or purple rather than something that's green for sure. So I get this from Costco. Okay, definitely I do use fresh bananas, but a lot of the fruits I use are frozen. because it is actually just easier that way. And so that a lot of people tell me that making a smoothie is hard, and that's the reason why I wanted to do this, because I wanted to show you how easy it is. I mean, obviously I haven't made the smoothie, otherwise it'll only be like a minute long, you know, to put everything in. Obviously I'm explaining all of these things to you so that it takes more time for me to actually do that. So some of the things that actually, again, cherries are a great source of calcium. It also has iron. It's a great source of potassium, vitamin C. So we're going to add just a bunch of that in there. There we go. And we seal it and we put it in the freezer. And then I'm going to add blueberries, especially wild blueberries. Blueberries obviously don't really add any sweetness. Another thing that I wanted to mention about making smoothies is this, that you should never make smoothies just with greens and berries. It will not work. It's a horrific smoothie. Your children will suffer and they will complain and you will not get them to drink smoothies. The reason why is berries, they actually are insoluble fiber as well. They do not have soluble fiber, so which means that they are not really going to make the smoothie into a smooth drink. It's not going to bind. So it's not a good idea to do just berries. Obviously you can do berries, but add a banana when you do it, or add mangoes, or add pineapples, or add cherries. All of these have soluble fiber. So this is the idea that you need to get. When you're making a smoothie, you have to have soluble and insoluble fiber together in order for you to be able to make a smoothie. Okay. So here is the blueberries. I love the wild blueberries from Costco, again, frozen. So the wild blueberries are one of the it has the highest antioxidants in all of the fruits and vegetables in the United States. So, and the thing is that sometimes we actually want to go get moringa from India or acai berry from a different country, or you know, all kinds of different things. But many times it really does not require you to go and get something from a different country, something that's exotic. You would actually benefit from doing something that is growing locally, because it's going to have much more nutrients. It is not traveling thousands and millions of miles, and it is fresh, and it's not either, you know, dried, powdered, all of those things. So which means that it's going to definitely have more benefits. And this wild blueberries have the highest antioxidants in all the fruits and vegetables. So you do want to add this in your smoothie. And another thing that actually has a lot of antioxidants is triphala or triphala. Triphala is actually 3 berries. This is actually Indian berries, and these 3 combinations are available in powder form most of the time. And this can also be added if you want to increase the antioxidant value of your smoothie. Antioxidants quench inflammation. So if you have any pain, you want to have more antioxidants in your diet. So the smoothie itself is actually a great source of antioxidants, because greens are a great source of antioxidants, and now we have cherries that are a great source of antioxidants, and then we have the blueberries, the wild blueberries, which are the highest source of antioxidants. If you add some triphala or triphala, then it's actually going to make even the antioxidant load more, which will quench inflammation in the body, which will actually give great skin, great hair, will actually decrease any pain, swelling, any kind of disease for that matter. So a smoothie can also be a meal replacement. If let's say that you're actually trying to lose weight, instead of doing these shakes that are like I don't know the names of different brands. I don't want to even say that, because those different brands, they actually sell these meal replacement shakes that you just take it from a box or from a pack and then put it in and just blend it with water and drink it. Instead of that, if you do this, this is going to be not just a good meal replacement, but it's also so full of nutrition, which is what we are eating for. We are not really eating for weight loss. We are not really eating for a specific organ. We are really eating for the entire body, and that is something that we need to understand. And so any food that we eat has to be for the entire body. Okay, and this actually gives you all of those things in different parts of for the different parts of the body. And then next one is that I add in my smoothie is the chia seeds. And the chia seeds, this is the brand that I have. Again, all of these, if you see, they're all organic. Okay. And the reason why it is organic, I make an effort to make, buy organic. They do cost more, yes, but we actually have all kinds of things that get into our body. Many sources of heavy metals. We have, toxins getting into our body on a regular basis. And these things really need a lot, and if we buy organic, we will reduce the pesticides and weed killers and all of those things in our food, and that's why I buy organic. The chia seeds, the benefit of chia seeds is that it's a high source of omega-3s, and you can also actually use flaxseed in its place. I don't have at the moment flaxseed, I have chia seeds, but you can use flaxseed. Some people like chia seeds, some people like flax seeds. Both of them are really good sources of omega-3s, and this is something that we add in the smoothie regularly because one, it's also a good protein source. So you have omega-3s, you have protein, and of course, it's not just that the seeds have protein, even greens have protein. So don't think that food is actually like, just protein is this and carbohydrate is that and all of that. Every single vegetable pretty much has protein, carbohydrate, and even a little bit of fats. Just the proportion of it varies. So, but chia seeds can actually add that extra protein for the smoothie and really make it into a meal replacement. And then we have this. So this is the barley grass powder. And the barley grass powder is actually, so this is barley grass juice powder, and this is from Vimergy, again USDA organic. And this one has so much of vitamin A, and it's also very rich in iron, and it's also a very, very good heavy metal chelator. Okay, so if someone has heavy metals in their body, I mean most of us do, then this is actually a good thing to add. And the thing is that these little things that we do, just like 1 teaspoon, this is not going to be a lot at all. We're just going to be adding 1 teaspoon of it into the smoothie, and this is going to make a difference in the nutritional value of the smoothie. So I just added a teaspoon right there, and 1 teaspoon is just very small amount, but it will actually make the smoothie even more nutrient dense. Next, we are going to add chaga. So chaga is it's a mushroom, okay, and this one is a mushroom extract powder, also from Vimergy, again USDA organic. And again, just a tad. It's not going to be a whole lot, okay. Just like a half a teaspoon is sufficient. And this is such a fantastic adrenal food. It actually feeds the adrenals when you actually take this. You can also make this into a tea. So the way you make it into a tea is you just take half a teaspoon in hot water and put cardamom, or if you like cinnamon, you can also put cinnamon. And then you just actually let it steep and really beat it up really well. And then you drink it. It's such a good replacement for coffee. A lot of people are addicted to coffee in the morning. So if you start taking chaga, you wouldn't need coffee. And the good news is you won't have the crash that you have with coffee. That's awesome, isn't it? That you wouldn't need coffee, one, and you actually have energy, and on top of it, you won't crash. So it's these little things, little tips is what actually makes a difference in changing our habits. And it's very, very important to make sure that we change slowly but steadily. And then the next one is the spirulina. Okay, spirulina, it has chaga all over it. So spirulina has been eating chaga for its energy. So spirulina or spirulina, this is again only a teaspoon or half a teaspoon. You don't have to eat a lot of this. This is again another one that is a heavy metal chelator, removes heavy metals from the body. It's also a great source of chlorophyll. So if you have iron deficiency, you can add spirulina in your smoothie and you will actually become iron sufficient. And also it has gamma linolenic acid, and it also has, it has the phycocyanin, which is a huge, amazing antioxidant that you really need in your food. It's actually it's only available in most of these algae. So that is something that comes from it. It is also a great source of vitamin A and vitamin K. It's also a good source of manganese. It's a source of magnesium. It's a source of iron. So this is really good. Name of the barley and chaga. So the barley and chaga this is Vimergy. All of them are Vimergy products. Vimergy is the company, Vimergy. It's barley grass juice powder. Okay. So you can buy all of these things from our office. We have it available. And I don't suggest that people actually buy things from Amazon. If you want to buy, otherwise buy it from the company itself. Because Amazon, one of the things that we are actually seeing is that there are some manufacturers that are, that could make some, problems in the packaging and so on and so forth, and we really don't know whether we are getting good products. In some cases, not all the time, but always look at the seller. Maybe if it is the direct seller through Amazon, then you can definitely buy that as well. So you can give it to chaga for sure, to kids for sure, because it's just an adaptogen. It actually just supports your adrenals. It's not really like coffee. So it is actually helpful for the body. It's also an immune booster, okay? So in this time when everybody is afraid of what can I actually do to support my children's immune system, what can I actually do because I'm sending them to school and so on and so forth, then if you add chaga, it makes a big difference because it actually boosts the immune system naturally. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add our water. So I do not add any other thing. So you see I have an electric kettle. Okay, this is again this electric kettle is all stainless steel. I don't know whether you can see. Yeah, it's called Zepoli. It's actually from Amazon. I bought it. It's stainless steel and glass. Does not have any plastic, or does not. I mean, plastic doesn't usually do well, but does not have any aluminum. You can also get ceramic ones. I have had ceramic ones. I've had pure aluminum, pure stainless steel ones as well. It just seems like I've gone through so many kettles. I don't know why. My daughter, I think, broke the ceramic one, and there was another one that I had that was fully glass. I think somebody broke it again. This one has been the one that has lasted as long as it has lasted, because I guess it has stainless steel at the bottom. I mean here, which makes it work better, I suppose. Hopefully, we'll go with this for a long period of time. So, and then I just add hot water. The reason why I add hot water is because hot water, because I added frozen things in there. So I don't like my smoothies cold. I like these smoothies room temperature. So if it has to be room temperature, I just add hot water into it so that I don't have to cook them, but hot water will actually kind of moderate the temperature, and it'll actually be not cold, but at the same time not hot either. So I am going to actually blend this and show it to you. It's going to be noisy. I am sorry. For us to make a smoothie, really, even though the video went on for as long as it did, literally after I put it in there and then I actually blended it, it literally took me like a minute. So I want you to remember that I just actually put the chia seeds in, so I kind of had to mix it up. So if you see my smoothie now, it's actually very smooth, and of course I won't actually just leave it with this. I'm going to run it maybe another time or so, at least whole cycle. I don't want you to actually have to bear with this, and I'll also add probably a little more chia seeds because it's thin. I like my smoothie a little bit like a smoothie and not like a juice. So this is how simple it is to make a smoothie. So if you can start incorporating this, you can even teach your kids how to make a smoothie, okay? So as you can also see, one other thing is, see, I added so much greens, but look at the color of the smoothie. It's actually more purplish. It's not really green anymore. And this makes a big difference because your kids are going to drink it because it looks this color and they don't even know that you have added the greens. But over a period of time, if they actually drink it, make sure that you tell them and you can teach them how to make a smoothie as well, and they can start making these smoothies as well. Because think about it, eventually your children are going to become adults and they need good habits, and that's the best gift we can actually give them, right? So this is how you make a smoothie, and this is usually something that I drink almost every single day. On Saturdays and Sundays, I don't drink it. So 5 days a week I drink it. Saturday and Sunday I give it a break, in the sense that I don't have anything usually for breakfast. I just do the intermittent fasting that I always do, and so I just drink water. But all the other 5 days we do that. My kids actually drink it as well. My kids are 11 and 14, and they've been doing it since my little one was 3. Yeah, and my older one was like 5 and something, or 6 almost. So they've been drinking it since then, and we do this every single day. Every single weekday. And weekends, I just let them eat whatever they want, which is mostly not horrible, just some not a great cereal. Like I don't like cereals pretty much because cereal is just processed. Even if it's a good healthy cereal, it's still dry. It's there for long periods of time. It has a long shelf life. Anything that has a long shelf life decreases our shelf life. So that's the reason why I don't really like those. But I do let my kids have that on the weekend so that they actually feel like, okay, they actually get to choose on the weekends, but the weekdays, this is what we drink. It's easy to drink for them before going to school. It's not extremely heavy. At the same time, it actually gives so much of nutrients. Otherwise, how much greens would we eat really every single day? And you can also add carrots to this. You can add beets to this. You can add all kinds of things. So we are going to have this smoothie today for dinner. So I kind of made it a little lighter. I didn't want to add a lot of things, and it's just for 2 people. I don't want to actually make a whole lot of it as well. But you can add other things as well. The green, if you add carrots, it increases the vitamin A of the smoothie. And also, if you want to, you can also add maybe occasionally. I do that too. I have a protein powder from Costco as well. I think the brand is called as Vega. Yes. It's a plant protein powder. Occasionally, I will add that as well to the smoothie. If I feel like, okay, let's do a little bit extra. So that one has probiotics, it has prebiotics and all of those things. And so the greens actually are also prebiotics. So anything that has a crunch in it has a lot of fiber in it, insoluble fiber, and that's what actually makes prebiotics, something that feeds the good bacteria in our gut. So we need to eat prebiotics regularly. A lot of people have probiotics, for example, but they don't really consume enough of prebiotics. So how you can keep the probiotics alive if you don't have enough prebiotics? So it's important to feed the good bacteria. So if you're taking a probiotic, you should be consuming prebiotics on a regular basis. What are prebiotics? Apples, celery, greens, jicama, anything that has a crunch to it. You can actually just think of it, any vegetable that has a crunch to it, asparagus. All of these are really, really good source of prebiotics because those insoluble fibers in them is what actually feeds the bacteria in the colon, and that's how they keep them alive. Okay, so that's all for today. I don't see any more questions from you all. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you spending this time with me, and I will see you next time.